When Marvel announced Avengers Doomsday, the reaction wasn't excitement, it was confusion. Not because of the title, not because of the release date, but because of the face attached to it. Robert Downey Jr. returning to the MCU is not by itself news. What matters is how he is returning, not as Tony Stark, not as a variant, but as Victor Von Doom. That distinction is doing far more work than it seems. For over a decade, Downey's presence represented the moral center of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tony Stark was not its strongest hero or its most noble or even its most stable, but he was the one who believed that the system could be fixed. The future could be engineered into something with survival. Bringing that same actor back as Doom is not reversal, it's a escalation. Because Doom is not opposite of Tony Stark. He is the endpoint of some logic taken one step further. And that is why Doomsday isn't positioned as another Avengers film, it is positioned as a structural turning point. In 2016, Marvel Comics made a decision that confused readers in much the same way. After Civil War II, Tony Stark is removed from the board, not dead in traditional sense, but gone. And in his absence, someone else assumes the role of Iron Man. The character is Victor Von Doom. In infamous Iron Man, written by Brian Michael Bendis, Doom does not put on the armor as disguise. He does not do it as a finesse. He does it because Iron Man represents something Doom believes he perfected long ago. The idea that the intelligence grants moral authority. Doom does not see himself as a villain trying to become a hero. He sees himself as a correction. Throughout the run, Doom repeatedly demonstrates that he can do everything Stark could do, and more efficiently. His armor is cleaner, his solutions are permanent, his patience is shorter. Where Tony Stark builds safeguards to prevent himself from becoming a tyrant, Doom views those safeguards as weaknesses. To Doom, hesitation is the flaw that keeps the world in constant crisis. The distinction matters because it reframes the Stark legacy. Stark believed in peace through protection. Doom believes in peace through resolution, and resolution to Doom means rule. This is not an ideological leap, it's a straight line. Infamous Iron Man makes that explanation. Doom doesn't fail because he lacks empathy. He fails because empathy slows him down. Hey guys, this is here on this side, and you're watching Screen Speculations, and today we are talking about Doom. Book of Doom, the original origin that explains everything. Victor Von Doom is often described as a scientist first, a sorcerer second. The description is backward. In the Book of Doom, Doom's origin is defined not by technology but by law. His mother, Cynthia Von Doom, is a Latvian witch who bargains with dark forces to protect her people. She fails, and her soul is condemned. This event is not backstory flavor, it is the axis of Doom's psychology. Doom does not pursue knowledge for curiosity, he pursues it for control. When Doom studies science, it is not to understand the universe, it is to remove the uncertainty from it. When he studies magic, it is not for power, it is for the access. At MIT, Doom is portrayed not as a reckless student, but a precise one. His infamous experiment, the one that scars his face, fails not because he miscalculates, but because he refuses to accept peer review. Reed Richard attempts to intervene, Doom ignores him. The moment becomes foundational. Doom does not trust systems, he trusts outcome. Later, when Doom trains in mysticism, he does not apprentice under a single master. He studies everywhere: Tibet, Latveria, Forbidden Library, Hell itself. In multiple comic runs, Doom is described as second only to Doctor Strange in magical abilities. And even the hierarchy is debated. Doom lacks Strange's resistance, not his capabilities. This dual mystery is what separates Doom from every other Marvel antagonist. He does not need allies, he does not need artifacts, he does not need permissions, and more importantly, he does not believe in balance. Secret Wars, the moment Doom becomes inevitable. By the time Secret War begins in 2015, the Marvel multiverse is already dying. The cause is not villains, it's the physics. Incursions occur when two universes occupies the same space. One must be destroyed to save the other. No moral solution exists, only survival. The Avengers, the Illuminati, Reed Richards, Tony Stark, none of them can solve this problem. They argue, they delay, they attempt to compromise. Doom does not. When the Beyonder begins systematically erasing the universes, Doom recognizes something critical. They are not gods, they are engineers, and engineers can be outmaneuvered. Doom allies with Molecule Man, exploits the Beyonder's dependency on him, and steals their power at the moment they least expect resistance. This is not a battle, it's a hostile takeover. What Doom does not is the most important part. He does not restore the multiverse. He built Battleworld, a single patchwork reality composed of the fragments he considered violent. Everything else is discarded. Doom becomes God Emperor not because he wants what's, but because someone has to decide what survives. And in Doom's view, the universe already demonstrated that it cannot be trusted with that responsibility. Why this mattered to MCU right now? Let me tell you now. The MCU has already introduced incursions, it has already fractured reality, it has already demonstrated the multiversal solutions create more problems than they solve. What Doomsday represents is not escalation but consolidation. Infinity War asks what happens when someone is willing to destroy half of the universe to save it. Doomsday asks, what happens when someone decides the universe itself is the problem? This is why Robert Downey Jr. matters here, not as a fan service but as continuity. The MCU is not bringing back Iron Man, it's confronting the philosophy he left behind. And that's the Tony Stark believed intelligence could protect freedom, Victor Von Doom believes intelligence proves freedom is inefficient. The conflict is not emotional, it's structural. And the end expansion, Marvel earlier phases were built on expansion, more heroes, more world, more timelines. Doomsday signals the end of that approach. Doom does not expand, he compresses. In the comics, Doom's greatest strength is not power, but decisiveness. When faced with impossible choices, Doom chooses. When faced with moral ambiguity, Doom resolves it. This is why Doom has always been the most dangerous character in Marvel Comics. Not because he is cruel, but because he is convinced. And conviction, when paired with competence, is catastrophic. Conclusion. The question Marvel is actually asking. Avengers Doomsday is not asking whether Doom can win. Comic history already answered that. It is asking something more uncomfortable. If the multiverse cannot survive freedom, if chaos is the natural state of existence, if every attempt to balance collapses, then at what point does control stop being villainy and start being policy? Doom does not see himself as the enemy of heroes. He sees himself as the solution they were never willing to become. And that is why this film matters. Not because of spectacle, not because of nostalgia, but because of the first time the MCU is positioning order itself as antagonist. And history suggests Doom has already made his case. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is why Avengers Doomsday is more than what you expected. This is Sieran, and you just watch Dim Tiles.